Good afternoon everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Flosstube. It's Rach here from Rara's Realm. Firstly, I apologise for the gloomy video. It's gloomy outside obviously. I have put the light on but it looks very dark, I think because I've got dark clothes on possibly. So I hope it doesn't affect the video too much. I'll check it when I play it back later. The next thing I'd like to do is to thank everybody who responded to my very quick video last week where I wasn't able to put up a Flosstube video. I greatly appreciate everybody's well wishes for my mother. She is out of hospital now and still on antibiotics but going fine, so I'm able to sort of get back to normal a bit now. So again, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to comment. It meant a lot, thank you. I have some projects to share. I have a finish. I have a little bit of haul and a few bits and pieces that have been going on in my head thinking about. So I'll try not to waffle for too long, but you know that I waffle. I will just get on, I think. Okay, so at long last, after 19 years, I have finished. It is the Drawn Thread 12 Houses Sampler. I have finished this little beauty. So I actually went back just now and watched the video from 2 weeks ago to get a hang of where I had left things off, because this whole past fortnight's been, I have no idea what I'm up to. So when I showed this to you 2 weeks ago, I had those trees to do and that tree to do. I won't show that again because it's hard to see that. So this is my finish. That's probably the best way to do it. So what I have done, I have actually made some changes. I just looking in the video, this roof down here and the one up here, I said I wasn't going to pull out even though it was the wrong threads. I actually decided to pull it out because it wasn't looking right anyway. It turned out that the spruce that I needed for this tree and these roofs was also meant to be the leaves on that tree at the top. I pulled out the stitches for those two roofs and just replaced them. I tried to pull those ones out but I was having problems, so I actually stitched over. And you can't tell that, you're not going to be close enough to see it. Specialty stitches, I did the specialty stitches for that tree and I don't have it in front of me to tell you what it is. Yeah, it's a funny stitch. So I'm really pleased. I tried to tidy the back up a little bit and I don't think I'm going to muck around too much more. There's major counting errors in this. The houses across the bottom should all be in a straight line and they're not. Goodness knows what I was doing, and it's probably why I put it down in 1999. But with its imperfections and all, it is finished and I'm going to have it framed. I'm going to pay, I don't know whether I'll go to the local framer here, I don't know if he does that, I'll find out. Otherwise I have some recommendations. And I will use this as my test piece to see what they're like at framing, basically, because it won't cost too much to frame it at this size. It's probably 6 by 6 actually inches, I would think, or slightly less. But anyway, that is finished. Okay, now where am I going to pile all these things? I'll pile them on the floor. Now, oh goodness, that's a very big thing. Going up the driveway, backing. So when I did the video with 2 weeks ago, I think I had one more day to go on my rotation, then I was on free slots, and then I was to start again Sunday week ago. It's Monday in New Zealand. So I've got this slightly round the wrong way. Let's put that up there. So I had one more day to work on Farmhouse Christmas, so this is part 3, and I think I had set a goal to do the border and this tree. Yeah, I did the border. I can't, whoops, excuse me, you see my backside. I did the border, and you can just make out the snowman in the bottom. So I'm sorry about the light, it really isn't good. But anyway, that's part 1 and 2 and the start of part 3 of Little House Needleworks Farmhouse Christmas, called for linen and threads. Then I said I would do some Harvest Keeper, and then I said I would do some Lucy. I didn't do some Lucy. I did do some Harvest Keeper. I'll show you. Alright, I'll show you. Hopeless. 2 weeks of not making a video and it shows. I apologise. So this is Plum Street Samplers Harvest Keeper, and I am working on this side of the chart at the moment, and I think when I showed it to you last I had done this bee skip as well, and I had the vines around. I've done the whole border, so I had a really good go at this, and I've practically finished page 2 now. You'll have to excuse the threads hanging down. Again, the light's shocking, you can't see the beautiful colours of this. So I've got the acorns on the vine down here, the bee, the heart. I've finished the trunk. All that's left on page 2 is there's a couple of leaves. It must be these 2 gaps here. There are 2 leaves, and the start of the last bee skip here. So I'm well on the halfway mark now. We'll probably even over if you consider that I've done the whole vine. And I'm really sorry about the lighting, because you're not getting the beautiful autumnal colours that this is, or the detail in the skip. That's a shame. I need to think about the lighting perhaps if this is going to be my winter. So that's looking really good. Today actually I meant to start on this again. I haven't done any today. I might try and get a leaf done this afternoon after I've uploaded the video, and then I will get on for the next 3 days and get some more of that done. Sorry. So then I was meant to start Sunday week ago. The rotation was to start again, and it was Orchard Valley Quilting Bee. I didn't stitch it all last week. I didn't stitch until Saturday, so I haven't touched Orchard Valley Quilting Bee. My plan for that will be so I'm on project 3 today, so sometime next week the free slots start again, and I plan to do 3 days for the Orchard Valley Quilting Bee and a day on Harvest Keeper, just to make sure I keep the Orchard Valley going. So so then Saturday was day 3 for Hawk Run Hollow, but Mum only came home from hospital on Friday, so no stitching on Friday or Thursday. So this is project 2 in my rotation, which is the Orchard. Goodness me, I apologise. Unless it's really bad on playback, I won't be re-recording. So I'm doing the Village of Hawk Run Hollow. This will be my long-term project, I've decided, because it took about 5 months to do the first block. So I'm now starting on the second block. And I've actually made the decision that I'm not going to put the words in up here around the steeple. Is it a steeple? Oh, I haven't got the pattern in front of me. It names the church down here, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So what I've managed to do for a couple of days, not a lot, but I have. So I've got the border on one side and the start of the wording at the bottom. I don't know how well that shows up. And I have gone across, but I haven't gone back because I'm not sure how far yet with the counting, so I've just left it. And I'll work my way up, I think. I can't hold it enough. I'm going to work my way up. There's grass here and then a tree, so I'll work my way up and then get into the church. And then I can figure out whether I need to do some pulling out of stitches. I've left the thread in the back, so it's very easy just to remove a couple of stitches if I've gone over too far. So this, as I say, will be my long-term project. And I think that is all of the stitching to show. So I'll be, as I said, back into Harvest Keeper today and for the next 3 days, and then it's Garden Series Club for 4 days, and then the free slots. I have got a little bit of haul. My goodness me. I had probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, must have been about 3 weeks ago, I placed over a period of a week, maybe 5 cross-stitch orders. And I have only received the 4th order so far. I have had information about one of the first order has not been updated on the tracking site since the 3rd of June in Chicago. And when I went to the shop I brought it from online and checked my account, they are estimating a 21st of June delivery, which is later this week. So I haven't contacted them yet. I'll wait for that date to pass before I contact them, because they'll go, well, we said the 21st of June, so we'll just wait. The second order is coming from Australia. The people who kindly told me that lady, I'm going to call you the wrong name, so I'm not going to call you a name. One of my Australian subscribers told me she'd ordered them from Linen and Threads. Australia is 3 hours away on a plane. It should be here by now. It's ridiculous. And I know Australian Post is rubbish. So who knows when that's going to arrive. The third order is completely my fault. It would have been here if I had put the right address. It's from Jen Stitching Niche on Etsy, and I just did not clock that Etsy had put my old address as my default address. And I think because when you have an Etsy account, you don't really put in your address or anything like that. You just got to check things, and I just didn't even clock the old address there. And on Saturday morning I got a phone call from a lady saying, is this such and such household? Yes. Is there a Rachel such and such there? And I said, yes, that's me. And she said, I've got a cross stitch pattern for you. Oh, okay. She said, I'm at the post office sorting office at the airport, and it got delivered to your old address, and the person chased down the postie and said, no, they don't live here. But as I'm a cross stitcher and I saw it was a cross stitch pattern, I did some digging, and she found that we had done a redirection when we moved to this house 3 years ago, and she chanced it and rung, and I'm forever grateful. So hopefully that will arrive tomorrow. So I'll have 2 of the 5 orders. The 5th order is from the Kitten Stitches website, and that's still tracking okay, and that was probably ordered only Friday week ago, so I wouldn't expect it for another couple of days anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. But the first 2 orders I'm getting a bit concerned about. Anyway, I will show you what I have got. I'll just show 2 things first. I was at Stitchy Group yesterday, excuse I. Talking too much. I'm sorry. And one of the girls was selling off some of her Little House Needleworks patterns. Now we're going to have some glary issues because I actually haven't taken any of these out of the plastic. I hope we'll be okay. So I brought 2 of them. This is one that I don't know that I've seen at all anywhere. It's called Summer Splendor. And I thought it was just a sweet little pattern. I liked that. So I brought that. And this one is one more stitch. So I got those 2. So those 2 are from someone selling them. Right, this is order number 4. This is, I don't know that I'm recommending online stores, because each of them have their positives, but you just can't fault 1, 2, 3 Stitch, honestly and truly. As I say, this is the 4th order of 5, and it's the only one that's here, apart from my mistake with the number 3. But anyway, so I have got part 5 of Farmhouse Christmas, which is Grandma's Quilt. I really apologise, the colours are not brilliant because the lighting is rubbish. This next pattern, I can thank Teresa at Kitten Stitcher for. I think she did this as part of her Stitch Mania, and I just really liked it. I've seen it before and liked it, but seeing it actually stitched was really beautiful, so I got it. This is Summer House Stitchworks Sophia as opposed to Sophie, yeah, Sophia, and it's just beautiful, blues and greens and a little L there, and I really like that. It says it's part of a my Baltimore Bride series. I can't figure out which are the other ones, looking on 123 Stitch anyway. I probably need to go to her website. Be interesting to see whether there's any others that will go with that I quite like. Then I did some Prairie Schooler shopping, and this one is up on the housetop. The photo's not good to begin with, and then the lighting here, it's not very good. I don't know whether that's any better on the back, so I apologise, it isn't good, but I quite like that. Santa in his sleigh. Then I got Village Green, which I primarily got for the bottom village scene. I'm not sure that I'll do any of the top ones. And then I think I mentioned this in the video 2 weeks ago about seeing this pattern stitched and framed when people were showing their New Jersey retreat videos. And I ordered it. So this is my very first ink circles. It is Baroque. Look at that. It's a stunner. And it was beautiful stitched up. I think the version I saw was not in blue. It was in a very light colour. I can't quite remember now. But I've got this to go with for my plans of a presidential blue wall. That's what I've got it for. So it can just be put away for now. I'm just going to pretend I'm not doing anything while the neighbours drive away, since the light is on, people can see what I'm doing. Okay, not a lot left. I've decided that I'm not going to do the, I can't think what the name of it is, the Blackbird Designs sale that Lynette at Homesteading on the home front had mentioned, that's starting at whatever that holiday is at the beginning of September, Labor Day. I really want to get 4 of my 8 finished at the end of this year. So I've got Harvest Keeper is halfway, the Quaker is halfway, and I want to get my 2 Little House Needleworks finished. So what I've decided is that rather than put something else in when Harvest Keeper finishes, because that's the one I'm working on to finish first, I will give those other projects more time. And I will just slowly work along that way. So I'll get Harvest Keeper done, then I'll work on getting the Quaker finished, because that's the next closest to finish, and then the rest of the year will be getting the other 2 Little House finishes, so that when I start next year I have my 4 big pieces, which is the Hawk Run Hollow, the Garden Series Club, Sanders Village, and Lucy Calcott Sampler. I have an idea about maybe looking at doing Stitch Mania next year. Now I know it's only June and it's 11 months away, but I'm thinking about it. I don't know that I want any more projects on the go than I've got now. So my tentative idea at the moment is that I'm going to carry over my same 40-day rotation next year, but from January till the end of April, the 4 projects that I take into next year will get 2 slots per rotation, if that makes sense. And then in the free slot days I will do a Christmas small out of the cross stitch Christmas magazines or DVD, whatever I choose, so that those 4 will get 4 months of really good work, push them along so that I can at least get 1 or 2 of those finished next year as well. Then in Stitch Mania I'm thinking I will start 4 projects, And so once June rolls around, I will then be back into my normal 8 project 40-day rotation situation like I am this year. We'll see. That is my thought. I haven't put it on paper, but it's been going around in my head because I've been watching everybody's Stitch Mania stuff, and it was really cool. But I don't think starting what next year would be 19 projects or whatever is. I think that's too much for me at the moment. But the idea of maybe fiddling around throughout the year so that I've got room to start 4 in Stitch Mania, and each week I will have that project will get a whole week, and then the next project will have a whole week, etc., so that it gets a good start before it then gets back into the normal rotation in June. We'll see. I like the idea. Someone was saying yesterday at Stitchy Group about not being able to cope with a routine, but I don't think I could cope without a routine. I like my rotation. It makes sense to me. The 4 days per project also, with Mum being in hospital last week, it really showed that I think I was right in giving each project a bit more than what you see other people give. I think when I was watching and taking note of people last year, people sort of did about 3 days per project and then they changed. 4 days just gave me some room up my sleeve in case I had issues with Mum. And so, like, for example, at the end of last week, Hawk Run Hollow was due to start, so I missed 2 days of it, but I had 2 days for it. So I got a little bit done, not a heap, but every little helps. So anyway, we're at 21 minutes and I've waffled, and I don't think there's anything else to say. So I shall have Hawk Run, no I won't, Harvest Keeper to show you and Garden Series Club next week, and hopefully some packages. And that is it at the moment. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those that take the time to comment. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you next week before I start coughing again. Bye everyone.